Yes, people. Good afternoon. Welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all having a very good Tuesday afternoon. We've got some news. We've got some things we want to talk about. Of course, the main topic is Kalvin Phillips to West Ham. Here we go. Kalvin Phillips is going to go to West Ham till the end of the season. A loan move with, I think there's an option to buy. We're going to look into the logistics of it now shortly on the stream and chat with you guys about it. What this means for City moving forward. Where did it all go wrong? Because for me, this was a safe bet move. When he first signed, I'm going to take us back to when he first signed. This was actually a safe bet move. I thought Kalvin Phillips was going to be, at the very least, a serviceable, solid Manchester City player, but it hasn't worked out for one reason or another, and we're going to talk about all that. Please, if you would, do us a massive favor, hit the like button on this stream. Hit that like button down below us. Massively helps, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Now, I'll show the news. We'll have a chat about it, and we'll see what this means for us and for Mr. Phillips. So the first piece of news that we need to look at here is from Mike McGrath. West Ham have agreed to deal with Man City over a loan for Kalvin Phillips. It will now be down to the player to decide the move. Then all the other big journalists are hopping on it. David Ornstein was on it. Fabrizio Romano gave the here we go. It's done. It's done. Kalvin Phillips is going to West Ham on loan. It's not a shock. Like, I'm not going to try and play any shock factor here. No one's surprised about this. But what are your initial thoughts of this? I've got a few mixed emotions. How do you feel about this?
I'm actually really happy for him. I'm just like, I'm gutted. I'm gutted because we never got to see Kalvin Phillips do what I believe he can do. I thought he'd genuinely come into City side and do bits. And as you know, innit, we both gassed it up at the start. And because it seemed just like something that was gonna be a solid deal. I remember when we signed him, I was like 40 mil, buzzing. Obviously, it's not worked out that way. It's never that case. I remember when but did his Amazon documentary come out? Or have I just like... Yeah, that came out. Because the people who were making that documentary, they rang me at the time, right? And was like, they messaged us, innit? And rang us at the time. And when we just signed him, and they was asking about Kalvin Phillips and things like this, I remember at the time thinking, why the fuck's he doing an Amazon documentary already? Like, it pure stunk of Pogba moves. But... like I say, it just hasn't not worked out for him. He's had a bad time. But I think he'll still do well. I think he'll still have a good career. I just think he doesn't get the Pep system. I think he'll go on and do bits. I just don't think it'll be for a club like City.
I think we have to understand, we as fans of Pep Guardiola's Manchester City have been accustomed to literally the highest standard of football in the world. It's literally, we are the best team in the world. We have consistently been the best team in the world, even though we didn't win the European Cup until 2023. I think it's fair to say we were the best team on paper for 4 or 5 years. So it's no embarrassment for a very good player in Kalvin Phillips or anybody else to come to Manchester City and not make the grade. Mm-hmm. When he first signed for City, I was getting kind of Nathan Ake vibes off him. a lower Premier League team player, probably scrapping relegation, but he's the best in that team and he's capable of a step up, or else he's earned the chance to step up and have a go at a higher level. And the way Nathan Ake did it was very, very impressive. For me, Nathan Ake is one of our best defenders at the club in terms of just the art of defending. Nathan Ake is one of the best now. But if you throw yourself back to, what was it, 2021, maybe Nathan Ake's first season, he didn't play a huge amount of football, and we paid 40 million for him. A lot of people said Nathan Ake is a flop, waste of money. You should have signed this player. You should have signed that player. He clearly worked hard and bided his time, Nathan Ake, particularly on the training ground. Because look, it's easy for us as fans who we only see the games. I don't know about any of you in the chat have any training information or seen any training, but we only see the games, and it's easy for us as fans to say, from the little cameos we see of Ake's and Kalvin Phillips and other players, that they're just not good enough, or they are good enough to make our judgment. The manager, Pep Guardiola, will make almost entirely his judgment based off what he sees in training. He needs to see that Kalvin Phillips is progressing in training. He needs to see that the information he's laying down to Kalvin Phillips about the way a midfielder should play is being understood and is being taken on board and shown in the training ground. And it's quite clear that he just wasn't showing that. And as I have to reiterate, it's no embarrassment that you can't make the grade at Manchester City. But like I said, comparing him to Nathan Ake never came in to be first choice centre half at the time. We knew that the level of centre halves we had at the time, Ake was not coming in to be number one. Likewise with Akanji, they were coming in to be, second, third, fourth choice maybe, but with the eye of them learning and potentially growing and fighting for a place. And I thought Kalvin could do that for Rodri. I thought Kalvin could come in and not immediately, ship Rodri out of his place or ever take Rodri out of his place, but at least learn enough and be competent enough that when needs be, you can take Rodri out for a whole game in a Premier League and feel comfortable that Kalvin Phillips will be fine. He'll do just fine. It never, ever happened. It never, ever happened with Kalvin Phillips. He never looked comfortable. He never looked like he fully got it. We have a manager in Pep Guardiola who we know Pep Guardiola views the midfield as the most important part of the pitch. He's a maniac for midfielders and the way they play and the way he believes they should play. So if you're not doing it, you're going to be cut very quickly. Pep never trusted him. Pep never trusted Kalvin Phillips. And by all accounts, it seemed like the glove fit. It seemed like the shoe fit. Marcelo Bielsa, the manager of Leeds. Pep Guardiola loves Marcelo Bielsa. So Pep would have felt taking Marcelo Bielsa's best player, someone Marcelo Bielsa trusted, made sense that he could come to Manchester City.
And he was directly directly told by Marcelo that he'd do well for City. It's just not a thing. It's just not happened. And another thing is, like, obviously Ipswich there saying Pep never trusted him, and you're right. And it's never going to be a thing when I get people saying he's not had time on the pitch, but the little time he's had on the pitch, he's not shown anything. And like you were saying then, bro, we don't see the training. We don't see none of that. Pep is seeing this guy week in, week out in training, and he's clearly not doing enough in training to be able to start games. There's so many games where we were like, oh, this is a perfect game for Kalvin Phillips, this, and Rodri would still play it. Like, it's shown a lot. And then we heard last year, didn't we, that he was he was the last person out of everyone pretty much to be getting the system. It's taken him a lot longer than anyone else. So, and even Pep said in an interview recently that he feels sorry for Phillips, but Pep can't even imagine him in the City side, which is like the worst thing you could probably say to a player, because it's just showing that Pep will not trust him and he won't play any games. And was all right in saying that Champions League game was his last game for City.
Yeah, that goal was kind of a send off. I mean, it's just one of those ones, like Pep always said things like, "Oh, his fitness, this, that, the other," and then he's a really nice guy. But if Pep says you just can't see him playing, you're done. You're done. Your goose is cooked. Like, I mean, the kind of final nail in the coffin for me was that week we played Newcastle in the Carabao. We got knocked out.
Yeah, when Rodri was suspended. That one.
Yeah, we played Wolves then a couple of days after, and we were all saying, "This is D-Day for Kalvin Phillips. If Pep has any trust in Kalvin Phillips at all, even an ounce, this is the game Kalvin has to start. not just come on. He has to start. And I think, did he go with Kovacic in number 6 instead in the end?
Yeah, I don't think Phillips even got on the pitch. I don't think he played at all.
He was done. He was done after that. But look, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, and I really think we have to remember these things. It's not just a case of what the moments Pep gave him on the pitch, where what the final judgment were. Pep clearly knows better than us. Pep clearly sees him day in, day out in training, and just said he ain't it. And like we can as fans though make our own judgments, of course, but we have to bear in mind what I said. But we can make our own judgments, and it felt to me like he was just off the pace of the game in the way we play. He just wasn't. It wasn't even a fitness thing. It was a mentally sharp thing. Like he'd play a pass. And a Manchester City defensive midfielder will play the pass, then move into a space. Kalvin would play the pass, kind of hesitate for a sec, then maybe move somewhere. It was just all a bit too slow. Like people don't appreciate how fast we play the game. It looks methodical, it looks planned out because it is, but it's at a serious pace. And for those of you who go to the games and you're on the side of the pitch and you watch it from maybe the third tier, the Colin Bell, and you get to watch a whole thing, it's really fast paced, and none of it's unplanned. None of it is off the cuff. Everyone knows where they have to be and what they have to do when they make a certain play. It's like Kalvin, for me, never got that. He never was able to click with what a defensive midfielder should do. So,
yeah, he looked like he was stuck in mud all the time. Kind of like you know what I mean? Kind of like he was just dusted. He never really fit in, which is a shame because, like I say, we're always back to City players. Anyone who signs for us, all back comes to do well, and it's not a thing. Fabrizio's confirmed. Well, this is where there's a bit of controversy in this, bro, in this deal, is whether or not there is an option to buy. Because there's a lot of people saying there is, and there's a lot of people saying there isn't. At the moment, Fabrizio Romano's saying he understands it's going to include an option to buy clause in June. Yesterday, we're hearing that there wasn't an option to buy clause in this. We know City were pushing hard to get an option to buy clause in there because they wanted him to be able to go in summer, so we're not stuck with a Cancelo situation. But I'm pretty sure, was it Ornstein? Has Ornstein said that there isn't an option to buy? There was another thing that basically said some more news. So yeah, Ornstein. Oh yeah, hasn't got the source anymore. But what do you think about the option to buy? Where would you put the price for that? Zohib there says there's a £30 million buy option apparently. Oh, there you go. Craig says there's a buy clause of 35 million. It's not compulsory. Yeah, so around that price. I think around that price is fine.
Yeah, look, we paid, what was it, 50 from 45, 50 from in the end.
Did we pay 40?
It was a 45 or 50. I don't remember the exact figure. But
I think it was 40.
Was it? Well, at the time, that felt like a really good deal for me.
Same.
An experienced Premier League player, the top player of his club. He was just off the back of being voted England's Player of the Year based on their Euro 2020 campaign, obviously in which they got to the final, and he himself and Declan Rice were being lauded as a fantastic duo in the middle of the park. So that made the price that we got for Kalvin Phillips very good to me, and I was very gassed with that. But to think that we're going to recoup any or like all of that, I don't think so. I think if you can get an option to buy and West Ham are satisfied with that of 30 million, you're doing pretty well, because the guy, like, he's not played football for 18 months, really, like any football worth talking about. He went to Qatar, barely passed the fitness level to get to Qatar, didn't really play for England. And then in terms of Manchester City, he's played really minimal minutes. He's played minutes that you would consider, or that you would look at of an EDS player coming up to play for the squad every now and then. You know what I'm saying? And this is a seasoned international, a player who should have come in and, stamped his authority a lot more than he did. So yeah, he's 29 interests exactly. I think if you're going to put an option to buy, I don't know if there's a quoted figure yet or if there's a figure announced, but 30 million, I think if you can get an option to buy a clause in there of that, you're doing pretty well. You're doing pretty well.
I mean, hopefully you can do well at West Ham for the remainder of the season. And then they can work something out for him to make a move permanent there. I've seen a lot of people in the chat, bro, on about Fulham and Andre. Do you remember Andre that we were linked to, the guy from Fluminense. I always say Flamenco, not Fluminense. Yeah, him. Apparently Fulham are linked with him now, and they've already got Paulinho. So, you know what I mean? Could there be? Do you think there's any chance, bro, of a last-minute City move for a DM?
No.
I did a poll in the chat, and I said, does City need to sign a DM in January? And 66% of people have said yes.
I just don't think it's how we're going to operate. I just don't think. I don't think the club will pull the trigger on that because, look, by all accounts, it's one thing to do it in the summer, but to do it in January and to go and try and get a semi decent or a good DM, you're going to pay a huge amount of money. There's not many top DMs in the world right now. You can only really list off maybe on one hand top DMs. And if you're going to try and grab a Palhinha, who's obviously really important to his Fulham team, Fulham are going to put a premium on him. And is he going to want
apparently he's available for around 60 mil, Palhinha. I think
is he going to want to
mil.
come? Is he going to want to come? Is Palhinha going to want to come? Who's an out and out number 6, knowing Rodri is there? Like there's going to be a fear amongst people that we approach, number 6 that we approach, that they'll be the next Kalvin Phillips. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they'll go and just be Rodri's understudy, but failed understudy. So do you want to potentially stagnate your career when there's other places you could go? I mean, Bayern Munich don't have a number 6. They're playing Kimmich there as kind of the shoe in number 6. He doesn't like. We know they wanted Palhinha. Liverpool could do with an out and out number 6. I think Palhinha at Liverpool would absolutely slap. There's not many. There's not many you could entice to come to Manchester City. We're victims of how good Rodri is. There's not many number 6s in the world are going to feel they can come in and really compete with Rodri. Now, the only lure you can give someone like Palhinha is, we'll up your wages. We'll definitely up your wages. And the second is you're going to be part of a more than likely successful team to some capacity this season.
Yeah, you'll win trophies.
You'll win trophies, but how important you will be to those trophies may not be to your liking. So who do you go and get? I think us getting an Andre makes more sense than maybe us going for Palhinha. I don't know Andre very well. I've only seen him play that one time that we saw him. I can't claim to watch Fluminense, but us getting a player from South America who has no experience in Europe, no pedigree in Europe, might make more sense than for us going for a player who does have pedigree and is looking to take the next step and be the main man somewhere else. So, yeah.
Yeah, but having that Prem-proven Palhinha, I think it then offers a more solid backup as opposed to Andre, who isn't. Obviously, the cash involved is obviously reflecting on that.
No, listen, bro. If you said to me, we can go and get Palhinha, yeah, dude. If he wants to come, take Palhinha.
Oh yeah. I know. And you're not saying that. I'm just saying like if City were to move, I think that's basically the only way I can see us going. And even at this moment in time, I don't see us doing it.
No, I don't.
I don't see us going for anyone else.
No, probably not. Look, they may test the waters with some of these kind of Palhinha type number 6s and say, "What do you think? You know what I mean? Successful team, more money.
Mm-hmm.
We're confident that you could be more serviceable than Kalvin Phillips. You know, Rodri. We're always worried about his yellow card situations. Football, the nature of football is injuries. We'd like to think that when you get your chances, you'll do a better job. But my gut feeling is that they'll be met with a hard no from most of these very good up and coming number 6s. It's just, if I'm Palhinha or I'm a number 6 at, I don't know, a Brighton or a Wolves and I'm really good and the world is starting to rate me, I'm not going near Manchester City. I don't want to be playing for the same club as Rodri. The fucker's too good. He's too good.
Yeah, you said it right before, and it's the fact that Rodri's so good makes it so difficult for us, but also it's the Kalvin Phillipsism fact of it. Do you know what I mean? It's basically no one wants to be the next Kalvin Phillips, and it's a very bad look that Kalvin came here, didn't do well, didn't get any game time, and just basically Rodri still played every game, because then people are going to look at that and go, basically it depends on the player and who they are as a person, because they've got to really back themselves to get into this Manchester City side when you've got someone like Rodri there, or Manchester City have got to tell them that they're going to play alongside Rodri. Pep will have to have a plan for them both to play together. I think you might be looking at a situation where the next DM that comes in, City might Pep. I know Pep never guarantees minutes in that, but I mean, he's clearly guaranteed minutes to Walker this season. And I reckon it might be a situation where they've got to go, look, you will play. I will make sure you play football. Even if Rodri's in the team, you're going to have to play with Rodri. Maybe push Rodri further forward, push whoever it is a little bit further forward. Because it's going to be difficult to get this second choice player in who is good enough. Rodri's too good. He's just too good.
Just a reminder, guys, to hit the like button. There's over 200 in the building now. Make sure you've hit the like button. It massively helps us. And subscribe if you're new. I've maintained this thought process with the backup number 6 situation. The backup number 6 situation is the most complex situation in Manchester City right now. We're always talking about left backs and we're always talking about wingers and different types of players we need. It's the most difficult one to pinpoint and decide what's the best way to move forward. Who is Rodri's backup? And that term alone is off-putting to anybody. Rodri's backup. You don't want that. So what I've maintained for ages is that you need to find a young, talented, up-and-coming number 6 who has a level of arrogance about him. Now, I don't even mean that in a bad way, but I mean an arrogance where he kind of thinks to himself, or he backs himself so much that he goes, I reckon I can come in and at least shake the waters a bit. You know what I mean? At least make some, at least put a bit of pressure on Rodri, because Kalvin Phillips never did that. Kalvin Phillips never did. Rodri was chilling from the moment Phillips walked through the door. You need a young, up-and-coming number 6 who's going to go, I believe I can get to Rodri level. It's not impossible. Rodri's obviously the best in the world right now at what he does, but there's going to be more in the future unbelievable number 6s. You need one of them to go, I fancy myself to come in and challenge Rodri to some capacity. And the experience I'll get from training with Rodri and challenging Rodri and playing under Pep Guardiola is extremely valuable for my development. So it's about the way you pitch it to the said player that you want to go for, and it's about the personality of the player, because it takes balls. It takes mega balls. Like I respect Kalvin Phillips. I respect Kalvin Phillips for taking the job that he was proposed. Same way I respect Nathan Ake for taking the job he was proposed. One worked out, one didn't. So you got to back yourself. Essentially, you really got to back yourself. Like, look, do these Paulinhas, do these Kimmiches, do these kind of guys back themselves enough to come to Manchester City and compete with Rodri? We don't know. We don't know these guys personally. They might say, I ain't taking that risk. I'm not going there and risking signing a 4-year contract, 2 of which I sit on the bench and everyone's laughing at me.
It's going to be really interesting to see what we go with. Like I said before, I don't see it being in this window. I don't see that being a thing, unfortunately. And I get why people would want that. And I've seen people in the chat now saying about Beyond Belief said it. I think Xtra said it before as well. Yao Neves is a player that's about, obviously I think it'd be a summer signing though, obviously with the cash that's involved around him. I think he's got a £120 million release clause in there, so it'd be difficult to get that over the line. What's your thoughts on then Rodri having to play 60 games a season, because we're looking like we're going down that route?
Well, that's kind of the next part of the stream, really, isn't it? What does this mean for us? Look, in conclusion, for Kalvin Phillips, I'm happy for him. He needs this.
Oh yeah, absolutely buzzing for him.
Like, we all know. Look, I've said this a lot, and anybody who knows Kalvin Phillips' personality through watching his documentaries, this, that, and the other, he's a lovely guy, and he always wish nice guys well. But unfortunately, nice guys being a nice guy doesn't always mean you're going to play football, especially for Pep Guardiola. So look, for him, for his England career, the Euros coming up in the summer, West Ham, David Moyes, fantastic move, really good team. I rate David Moyes. I rate what he's doing there. The style of football they play will suit Kalvin Phillips, so that's great for him. But where does that leave us? Because to be honest, I don't really care that much about West Ham, and now that Phillips is off our books, I don't, like, my caring for him subsides. Where does that leave us? That now means we have one number 6 at the club that Pep Guardiola actually trusts, and that's Rodri. So the pressure now, you see the title of the stream, Rodri must rise. That's not to say Rodri has not been rising, but Rodri must, stay fit, continue to perform. We can't really afford to have Rodri have any, periods or long periods of underperforming, because he's so crucial to the way we play. And he can't be getting suspended, because look, as much as I do like Akanji, as much as I do like John Stones, as much as I do like anybody else who's playing the number 6, I even like Kovacic to an extent. None of them even scrape the barrel when it comes to Rodri as an out-and-out number 6. So we need Rodri. We absolutely need Rodri. If you talk about any player between now and the running that we need to stay fit, it's not even Haaland as much. It's not even De Bruyne as much, even though they're obviously very important players. Rodri is the number 1 player that has to stay fit, has to stay fresh, has to stay consistent, and can't get suspended. So there's now mental pressure on Rodri. He's going to know this. Rodri's going to know there's mental pressure on me. I believe he has the mental strength. I believe Rodri has the character to handle this, but it is a thing. It's a big thing that we don't have a recognized backup for Rodri. Because when it does get to the point where you need to put someone into that position, whether he's injured or suspended, you're shoehorning someone out of position, which is never positioned in everything you want to do that much or you want to avoid.
Yeah, it's a grim situation to be in, and obviously playing loads of games, we've seen leads to more injuries. Obviously, that is a thing, and that's a risk that City. We're walking on a fine line with this Rodri thing from now to the end of the season if we don't get a backup DM. Now, I've seen people saying about Matheus Nunes. I think City are going to utilise him more forward, like more of an attacking player. We've not seen him be trialled at the CDM role yet. It's something that he did play at. He did play CDM for Sporting. He played in the six for Sporting. Not sure how much, but I know he did play there because when we was looking at him, I think he was playing in and around that area. So it'd be interesting to see if Pep ever actually runs that. He's not tried it so far, and he's only really utilising going forward. And he is looking good, Nunes. I'm really excited for his career at City, and I think he will have a good career at City as well. I've seen people saying Kovacic in the bin. I've seen people say before, by the way, before we move on, like Perone, his DM. Yeah, he's on loan at Las Palmas now. He's played 19 games this season, played 900 minutes. So Perone obviously is an option that we have in being on loan, but obviously it's not an option that we have this season. So I'm just like thinking of the immediate right now. Piplup with the 2. Yes, Piplup, mate. He says Jacob Wright. Isn't that the academy, Donny? He came on a little bit, didn't he?
Against Huddersfield, didn't he? Came on against Huddersfield.
Yeah, so that's obviously, well, Pep has been throwing these youngsters on recently. It'd be interesting to see if Jacob Wright is one of the next players to come through. I don't think it's going to be anything immediate. I don't think it'll be anything right now, but never say never. And maybe City looking in-house for a CDM. I just do think that we're going to go and try and sign someone who's an actual, like, proper CDM, like a well-known one. Like someone who's out there. I don't think we're going to look for the academy for the backup to the 6.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a huge amount about Jacob Wright. I don't watch the EDS the same way I used to. I used to watch them almost every week because I was very interested, particularly in that kind of Foden, Sancho, and what's his name? What's the guy called again? What's his name? He's at Real Madrid now. I forgot his name. Brahim Diaz.
Brahim Diaz.
Yeah, particularly in that kind of era, I used to watch a lot of the EDS. I don't know how they're looking these days. I don't know much about Jacob Wright. Look, he got a cameo. He was shown a bit of faith from Pep to be given a few minutes on the pitch in the Etihad, make his senior debut against Huddersfield, which is a big thing for him. So Pep must see something in him. Pep doesn't give you that olive branch unless he sees something. But I'm with Jordan. I think we're more likely to go for a seasoned number 6. But like I said, there's a lot of caveats to going for a seasoned number 6. It's a really hard task to pull off. And look, with Matheus Nunes, I think it's an interesting one. I think there's definitely potential there for Matheus Nunes to become a serviceable backup number 6 while also being a very good number 8 or number 10, whatever. But Matheus Nunes, I firmly put in that category that I put Nathan Ake in, and I put Kalvin Phillips in. Very good player for their previous Premier League club. Very good in the Premier League. Good pedigree, well known. They're making a step up. But if you expect Matheus Nunes to be a serviceable number 6 right now, you may be disappointed with what you see straight away. It's something you're going to have to sit on. You're going to have to let Pep develop, and you're going to have to watch unfold. I'd like to think that 12 months from now, so January 2025, Matheus Nunes will be a much improved player than what he is right now, because that's why he was brought to the club. Matheus Nunes was not brought to the club to be the Matheus Nunes of Wolves. If we wanted players of Wolves level, we'd be at Wolves' level, with all due respect. Pep and the club clearly saw something in Matheus Nunes that they feel they can develop on and make even better. So we'll just have to wait for that. I mean, Craig Party Time in the chat here as well. I saw a second ago about where is it gone? Yeah. I've also heard that Pep is going to work on Stones' CDM role in training behind closed doors to get him up to speed. I back that. Look, didn't we see Stones play as number 6? Was it against Villa?
Is that where it was?
Was that where it was?
He has played 6. He has played 6, definitely. Because Stones is my backup CDM, and he is now 100% that Kalvin Phillips left. He was, even Kalvin Phillips was still here. That's why the Kalvin Phillips leaving doesn't have too much of an impact on us because we don't play him anyway. Elder says it was Villa, and Raphael says it was Villa. But I do think there's a bit to go with John Stones in the CDM. He's definitely my backup, and I think he's definitely the most the player that's definitely suited to that position the most out of everyone else. I'd take him over Kovacic, I'd take him over Nunes, anyone in that role. But I do think he's still got a bit to go with that. But so that's positive that if Pep's working on him being a CDM, and maybe that's what City looking at, are going, you know what, we don't need to go get another DM when we've got John Stones here. If needed, obviously, because Rodri will play majority of the games from now until the end of the season. But if Rodri needs a rest, we've got John Stones there. And then if John Stones is injured, we can go with someone like Kovacic. I mean, there is a fall. There's fall guys for that position. So I think City probably just looking and going, Summer's the best bet.
Stones is the number one candidate to step in as number 6. He's the number one candidate, but I think he's got a long way to go to being Rodri levels number 6. Like I know Stones is unbelievable at what he does, and we all know he's the best at what he does. The John Stones role, it's literally called the John Stones role because he does the best. But it's still very different. The dynamics of what he has to do are very different to what Rodri has to do. John Stones has to slot in as a center half or a defender when out of possession, and then when in possession, he almost has kind of a free roaming role where he gets to move up and down the middle of the park and get involved and orchestrate a little bit. Whereas with Rodri, you've got to be switched on both in and out of possession. You have to control. You have to be the enforcer, the dominator, the kingpin in midfield. It's a very, very different dynamic, the John Stones role, to being a Rodri level number 6. So look, if he's working on it in training, I'm here for it. I do see potential for John Stones to be able to come in and do a better job than what Kalvin Phillips was doing. Absolutely, no doubt. But definitely. Look, D-Day is coming with this. We're going to learn this answer very soon because Rodri's going to get his yellow cards. He's going to get his yellow cards at some stage this season. He's going to get a suspension at some stage this season, Rodri, between now and the end. And we're going to see what Pep's choice is. We're going to see what Pep's thought process is. Right now, we can speculate. We can say what we would prefer, what we think works best. We're going to find out. And look, we've spoken about this last night, I think it was. Because of the month we have in March, we would prefer Rodri to get his yellow cards in February and serve his suspension in February. So we may in the month of February get to see someone, whoever it may be, in the number 6 role. We don't know who. We don't know who.
It's definitely a risk from Manchester City's side to just full ham Rodri and then hope someone else will fill that void. But like you said, John Stones is a more serviceable DM than Kalvin Phillips has ever been at City. So it's the Kalvin Phillips leaving isn't actually a loss.
No,
it's not a loss. Even when even when Rodri was out, we still barely played Kalvin Phillips.
I think it's just more the squad. It's just you're losing a body in the squad, isn't it?
It's depth, isn't it? Yeah.
Someone else is going to be on the bench now. Who? I don't know. I'd imagine it'll be an EDS player. We'll probably get a more regular feature on the bench. Maybe it'll be Jacob Wright.
Wright, yeah.
Maybe it'll be Jacob Wright. Maybe Pep sees a future for Jacob Wright, like I said. Piplup back again with the 2. Nigel de Jong is only 39. He's only 39. De Jong. Wow.
As if de Jong's only 39. That is actually wild, that.
It is wild. It's a cheeky 6-month contract. I like Nigel de Jong, man. I used to like him a lot. Crazy bastard. But no, I think he might be slightly over the hill for what Pep Guardiola's looking for, Piplup. But keep coming back with suggestions.
Hey, yo, let's get Gareth Barry back.
Yeah, Gareth Barry, man. Gareth Barry. Maybe Yaya. We take Yaya back, play a deeper role. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how old Yaya Toure is, man. I feel like he can't be that old, but he probably is. He's 40.
Yaya's such a smart footballer that he could probably put him out there and he wouldn't stand out.
Nah, bro, nah. I remember Yaya when his legs fell off, and I remember how much he was just like rooted, bro. He couldn't move.
Because his game was based around pace and power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to move and be strong and that. If you just told him, look, plot yourself around the center circle kind of area and just
stay there.
Stay there and spray passes. Yeah, man. What he was unbelievable.
What a G. What a legend. Fake Tom in there says, you go CDM, Jordan, no one's getting past you. I mean, I'm waiting for the call, City. My phone's on loud, permanently waiting for the call. As soon as I see these Kalvin Phillips news, I was like, "Yep, get me there." And I know that as soon as I'm in that CDM role, I'll get Hugh to. I mean, he'll take Haaland's spot like that. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. No,
I mean,
like
you're a
you do
baller.
tick some of the boxes. Like you're 6'3", so you're big.
Yeah, so
Your
I fit
presence
there. Yep,
six
I
foot
got that
three,
aerial presence. It's got that power. You know what I mean?
both footed.
Both footed, yeah. And I can do 100 kick ups easy, mate.
Yeah. So
I fit the role basically.
keep
Because
the ringer
because
on your
that's only that's all of Rodri's skills that we just listed there. So I mean, if I just tick all in boxes,
Well, you
JP
deep
never
it. You
forget when I
basically are
cook.
Rodri. You basically are
I
bolting Banter to
basically am a
Rodri,
regen of Rodri. I just need to tuck
yeah,
my shirt in, and then I'm him.
and you've got more hair in your face.
Yeah, I have more hair everywhere. Here, not here. Manscaping it.
Why must Rodri step up, Matali? Just simply, it's not that he needs to step up. That's probably not the right phrase to use. Step up because he has been excellent this season. It's more just there's now more pressure on him because there's no recognized backup number 6.
Yeah, it's because we're heavily reliant on Rodri. He's got to rise to that occasion of basically saying you're a 60 game a season player again. Like
Yeah.
the guy can't have a day off, innit?
Yeah, exactly. No days off. But like I said, the time is coming. D-Day is coming, and it'll be interesting. What is Rodri's 2 yellow cards off suspension, isn't he?
No. So I checked it as well and I clarified it's 3 because he
Right.
does have in total 8 yellow cards. So I can see where people are getting confused, but one of them's in the Champions League. So he's got 7 Premier League yellow cards. So he needs 3 yellows until his 2-game ban.
That ban's coming in March. It's coming in March.
The thing
I'm
is,
gonna put
Rodri's on like he's on like he's so angry.
I'm gonna
I
put
don't-
money on it. I'm gonna put money on it. He misses at least one of United, Arsenal, or Liverpool. I'm gonna put money on it. It's just our luck.
if you got 3 yellow cards to miss, you'd have to get. Yeah, it just stinks. It does stink.
It stinks of a March suspension.
It stinks when getting butts against Chelsea, Brentford, and Bournemouth, and then he'll miss United and Liverpool. Or if he gets booked against Brentford, Bournemouth, Brentford, Bournemouth, and United, he'll miss Liverpool. Oh, and then he'll miss Brighton, and he'll be back for Arsenal.
What he needs to do is this. Look, against Burnley next week, take his shirt off. Take his shirt off twice. Get 2 yellow cards against Burnley. Sent off. Red card. Boom.
Yeah, get yellow card. Oh yeah, to be fair, if he gets a red card,
Does that count?
does it count, or is he still on 7 yellows? You know what I mean? If he gets 2 yellows, do they both count to his yellow card count, or cause and like just get himself booked so he misses 1 game? No, because then it'd be 2 yellow cards, and then he'd be 1 game away from another suspension.
Shit.
Because then it'd just be 1 game away from another suspension, isn't it? Yeah, I reckon just get booked against Burnley. Get booked.
But
He
2
needs to get
yellows.
booked. He needs to get booked. If he gets booked against Brentford, Everton, and Chelsea, he'll miss Brentford and Bournemouth. We
We
paid
need him to have. We
Brentford
need him to
twice.
either get booked soon, a few bookings soon, or else have a flawless period of no cards. Because
Yeah, guys basically just got to go all out and not get yellow cards. Not get 3 yellow cards until the end of the season. 3.
it reeks.
He needs to pent up his rage and take it out in Champions League games. But just don't get booked. Don't get sent off in it.
He's angry, Rodri, these days. He needs
DJ
to.
DJ Sus 2 says the solution is don't get booked.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, the cup games will also count towards his yellow
Yeah,
cards. won't they?
Craig Patterson, this is get booked against Spurs. So the FA Cup games count towards it then?
Yeah. It's all FA, isn't it?
So if he gets, to make it easier, then get booked against Spurs, get booked against Burnley, get booked against Brentford, and then he'll miss Everton, Chelsea, and Brentford.
Yeah. Do that.
Nah, because if he gets booked against Burnley, City. No, sorry, Brentford, Everton, and Chelsea. He'll miss Brentford and Bournemouth. And Brentford and Bournemouth, mate. Should be winning them games. Brentford at home as well.
I don't know. Look,
Oh, it's only the Carabao. It's only the Carabao anyway. Anyway, we can talk about this, you know what I mean, and try and figure out when he's going to do it. But I think Pep is more than likely just going to go, yeah, you just got to not get booked, mate.
Yeah.
But he's in a position which he's heavily carded.
Yeah. That's more than likely the outcome. You just don't get booked, mate. Just play smart.
Just don't do it. I mean, last season, in total, yeah, all competitions, last season, he got a grand total of 9 yellow cards. He's already on 8. He played 50. He played 56 games last season and got 9 yellow cards. This season, he's only played 25 and he's on 8. Bro, guy's in rage mode. Guy is ready to fight. He's primed.
I mean, the fake Tommy is right here. The bigger question is, what if he gets injured? If Rodri was to get injured, if Rodri was to get like a 2-month injury, what the fuck do we do? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the issue. That's the issue.
I think we're manifesting the wrong things here, lads. I think
we need to be manifesting him staying fit and getting no yellow cards.
Look, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. He's probably going to get suspended at some stage this season again, so we'll see what Pep wants to do then. Phillips is gone. Here we go, confirmed. Phillips to West Ham. He's gone there to try and revive his career.
As he will.
And as he will, I believe he'll do a good job. It suits him, the style of football. I like Moyes, etc. Like I said, so keep an eye on Phillips. Final question: do you think if Phillips was to absolutely smash it at West Ham, could there be a remontada?
No. Pep seeing what he's seen, he made his judgment. Is gone.
You think?
Yeah, he's gone. He's given 2 years, bro. He's given 2 years, bro. If he goes and smashes it, Pep ain't gonna go, oh yeah, let's go give him another year. That's it. Pep goes, nah, mate. Pep, all Pep does there is go, yeah, buzzing.
You're probably
we'll get
right
more cash.
It doesn't actually matter what you do at West Ham. It doesn't correlate to being good enough for Manchester City at all. Totally different demands, totally different expectations, totally different styles of play, totally different managers.
I think he'll do well, though. I think he'll do bits.
Guys, how about Rodri not getting booked for the rest? I know, Rose. I know we're trying to manifest that now. We've manifested the wrong thing, so we're trying to backtrack.
Isn't it? Uno reverse card.
Yeah, Uno reverse card. MCFC lads, if Rodri gets injured, let's sub him on 90 plus 3 times shirtless. So what does this mean?
Let's sub him on in the 90th minute 3 times shirtless so he can serve his suspension on the sidelines. So if he's injured, just sub him on anyway, and then don't take his top off straight away so he gets booked. And then he'll get 3 yellow cards then, but he'll be injured anyway, so he'll serve his suspension whilst he's injured.
We would get charged for that, though, wouldn't we? Like, it's just
yeah, that'd be 116 straight away.
Yeah, like you'd get a charge, not like an actual charge for that. Not even jokes. Like you just get fucking rinsed.
Yeah, they'll be like, this is cheating. This
is just cheating. Yeah.
Right.
Anyways, chat. Make sure you've hit the like button. Please hit the like button on the stream. Subscribe if you're new around here. We got a show coming out tonight. We're going to do a show of some sort. We're trying to arrange something.
Yeah, we'll try to sort something out. We're just rallying the troops and seeing who's available, who's not available. We'll see what's going on. But we'll definitely have a panel show today or tomorrow. Definitely with all the boys. But yeah, we'll see who's available tonight. Just a little reminder to everyone that Hot Ones is releasing tomorrow. The trailer. We can actually finish on the trailer if you want, bro. We'll play the trailer out. I've uploaded it.
Have you finished editing it?
No, not yet. I need to render it.
Oh, I was about to say I'm going to watch it today while you guys all have to wait till tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you will be able to watch it today. I'm going to upload it for us today.
Right, I'm going to watch it today and I'm going to gas it up. I might do on my personal channel, me reacting to it. I might watch it.
Yeah, you reacting to Hot Ones. Yeah. Preparing yourself.
Yeah, right, chat. Listen, smash a like on the stream, please. Get the likes up. It helps. Subscribe if you're new. And I'm going to leave you with the Hot Ones trailer. Get you a bit excited. In a bit, people.
And we're all the ear.
That's hot.
That's hot. Oh no.
Fuck. Oh my fucking god. That is hot. I don't want to do it. Okay. Alright, cheers. Don't do this, just don't.